It's time for a quick time update of the Douglas County Board of Commissioners meetings for the month of August. We had two meetings, August 6th and August 20th. County Manager Jim Nichols is here to talk about those meetings. And Jim, the main topic of discussion at the August 6th meeting was flooding. Of course, we had that major flash flooding up in the Johnson Lane area, Fish Springs area. I guess there were really two major incidents during the month of July. So I wonder if you could give us kind of an overview of the flooding situation and what the county is doing, and also maybe an update on what's been going on since the meeting.
Sure. Well, at the meeting, myself and Chief Carlini presented an overview for the board and for the public regarding that event, both how we responded to it and what we were doing moving forward. And I really want to thank the Chief Todd Carlini, for all his work. He provided great leadership during the event, and it's much appreciated. I think we also need to thank all the county employees and the fire district employees, as well as others, including neighbors and residents who helped out. It was really a true community effort that helped us get through it and helped some people get through the event as best they could. Basically, we responded in a much more strategic way than we've done in the past. We were actually tracking cloud formations, rainfall events, and trying to get ahead of where water was going. And to a certain degree, we were successful, and I thank our GIS group for helping us with that. In the end, we couldn't stop damage from happening, but I think we were more responsive and able to open infrastructure and get things where folks could at least travel through their neighborhood more easily. In the end, there were, I think, about 9 homes that suffered some form of structural damage. Many more homes faced landscape problems and loss of landscape. The county faced a great deal of infrastructure damage ourselves, but it's something that we're working through. And as part of that meeting, or I guess a partner to that meeting, we also had a community workshop down the street from our board meeting where folks could go to talk to various resources related to flood questions and drainage questions. And we got a lot of positive feedback from people regarding having all those resources in one room, including agencies that are not part of the county being there and able to answer questions. Where we go from here is that we'll be coming back to the board in September to talk to them about some policy issues, some funding options, and look at what we can do to start addressing our drainage needs more aggressively and hopefully help keep this from affecting people in the future, or at least minimize the impact.
Okay, so we'll be hearing a lot more about flooding at the Board of Commissioners meetings.
Yes, we will.
Okay, August 20th, commissioners at their meeting really had most of the meeting taken up with a land acquisition agreement for property off of Foothill Road in the Sierra Country Estates area. And this was a controversial item. There was a lot of public testimony. And in the end, commissioners continued this item. So could you give us an overview of what happened?
Sure. Basically, this was a situation where the county had negotiated with a single property owner regarding acquisition of land and easements that were necessary for some water system improvements in that area. At the same time, some surrounding property owners who belonged to an HOA had objections to some elements of the agreement and what they saw as potential impacts that they would experience. Ultimately, the agreement really is between the county and this one property owner. So the board decided to continue the item and allow both parties to discuss their concerns offline and then see if some agreement can be reached, and then those possible agreed upon criteria can be included in our agreement. But ultimately, whatever the end result is, we will be seeing it back before the board at their first September meeting.
Okay, so that'll also be back in September.
That is correct.
Okay, Jim, I want to thank you for being here on the Quick Time Update. Jim Nichols, our county manager. I'm Lloyd Higuera for the Quick Time Update.